terrific last year and great the year before. His first pitch swinging is Gage Mestis, the junior utility guy. He's playing second base today out of Durango, Colorado. Transferred in from Pima Community College. 23 new faces on this Gonzaga Bulldogs team as that sweeper misses low.
Yeah, a lot of freshmen, a lot of transfers as well, especially through this starting lineup. It's just to see how they respond to the big arm and Carter Holton. Just missed the outside corner there.
So Gonzaga, who was swept by number 22 UCLA, they lost 8-7 on Friday in a really close game as that fastball dots the outside corner at 93. The count's even on Mestis at 2-2. They led 7-5 in the bottom of the 8th before allowing 3 runs on Friday. And then on the Blues in the next 2. That sweeper misses upstairs. It's 3-2.
Yeah, it looked like Holton tried to come backdoor with that, kind of slipped out of his hands, but Holton just trying to get back in a normal rhythm here on his Friday start.
3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Fastball blew it by him at 93. Sort of up in the zone there. First punch out of the day for Holton.
Yeah, his fastball's got a little extra umph on it. Got a pretty high spin rate and really gets on you as a hitter. And, came out of the pen last weekend. He had some arm injuries at the end of last year, and then he got a little bit better. He pitched for Team USA over the summer, and this fall, pitching staff said, hey, let's give you a little bit of break. We'll work you back. And then he wasn't quite ready to get in that starting role last weekend, but he's worked himself in there. And as a team, you're better with Carter Holton, healthy and kind of in that normal spot. And you're going to get a great outing of him, to start the weekend. And so Commodore fans got to be happy about him being in this spot here on Friday night.
Left on left here, Sam Stem, 2-hole hitter for the Bulldogs. Takes a fastball, cold strike on the outside corner. Stem, the sophomore out of Erie, Colorado. He batted .317 last year with an .824 OPS. Check swing, he went around, says home plate umpire Derek Malika. Back-to-back punch-outs, and that is left-on-left crime.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, as a left-handed hitter, it's coming out almost behind your head. You got to follow it into the zone. By the time you make your decision to swing, most likely you're going to be a little bit below, but man, that is tough to pick up.
Here's the left fielder, Vincent Temesveri, batting .167 so far after the first series against UCLA. Takes a fastball dotted, 95 on the outer black. It's 0-1. Temesveri, junior out of Los Angeles, transferred in from Cal State Dominguez Hills. This is bounce. Vastine ranging to his right. Tough play. Fires over in the turf. Picked over at first by Maldonado. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the first for Holton. Another
7 spot, but again, early in the year, Tim Corbin's trying to find the best combination of guys as their, who can give you the best offense production.
Well, that's a good start for Paddock. He'll take that. First pitch swinging was Bolger right back to the box. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Yeah, it looked like Bolger was on go, green light, and then tried to hold up. It couldn't do so, but nice little, he kind of surprised himself. A little nubber right back to the pitcher.
So here is R.J. Austin. Austin, who got off to a really fast start in his freshman campaign, but much like we talked about the other day, with synergy and all these different metrics and stats and watching film, you can learn guys pretty quickly, right? And so R.J. Austin wound up finishing the year .257 last year. OPS right around 700. And there's that changeup.
It's so interesting to see the sophomore year, the jump, from you have a great freshman year, sophomore year, you got a lot of stats on you. Pitchers kind of know how to pitch you, so very interested to see how he adjusts. And he started off this year pretty dang well, and excited to see how he continues to do so.
2-2 laced and in the sun. Losing it over there was the second baseman in Mestis, so that's going to be a single for Austin. Listen, that was blistered, but it looked like he kind of lost it there.
Yeah, I think Mestis definitely could have caught that, and you see him pointing right to the sun. having been in that position multiple times right at this time of the day, yeah, there is no shot you can see that. That sun is directly, setting right behind the press box. And I've said multiple times, it's tough to wear sunglasses in that position because then it's really hard to see the ball even off the bat because of the shadows inside. So really struggling out there at that second base position in particular.
First pitch slider to Camden Kozel, making his 4th start of the season. Did not start on Wednesday against Eastern Kentucky. As I mentioned, R.J. Austin is 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Another slider, that time misses low. Austin, who stole 2 bases in the bottom of the 1st on Wednesday against Eastern Kentucky. You have to keep him honest. And that was against a lefty for the Colonels, as Paddock takes a look.
And this is where that Vanderbilt offense gets going. Gets the runner on. Maybe put somebody in motion and really use those legs.
Taking a look, he's got him picked off. Throw to second is in time. Austin tried to dive around the tag by the shortstop and Peyton Miller. Nice pickoff move there by Paddock. And of course with the lefty, Austin was going first move.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to, deke him into saying he wasn't going to go. Didn't have a huge lead. Went first move and Paddock did a good job, realized he was going and took a pretty hard talk at him.
91 swung on and missed by Kozel. So Paddock, after the pickoff, is now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
It was interesting seeing Paddock. I mean, Commodores made the 3rd out and were coming off the field. Paddock was out there on the mound before the last Vanderbilt player got out. I mean, he was out there ready to go.
2-2. Upstairs. Three-two pitch. Misses outside, ball 4. So Austin gets the single, then gets picked off. Kozel, nice at bat there, draws a walk.
Yeah, got very good plate discipline there, especially for a freshman. That's what hitting coach Mike Baxter always said about Kozel, is much improved, mature approach, especially for a freshman. They were super impressed by him this fall, and I think that's why he's sitting right there in the 3-hole.
Kozel has not attempted a stolen base yet this season, as that slider misses in the turf. Good block by the backstop there, and Donovan Ratfield to keep Kozel at first.
Yeah, was able to glove it. 90 on the inside corner. Keeping that force out at second base.
Alan Espinal, the senior out of Vieira, Florida. Backstop today, DH'd on Wednesday, went 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. He's looked really good here to start 2024.
Yeah, very much so. I think a lot of it is just giving him more opportunities and consistent opportunities. Last year, Jack Bolger did a lot of the catching and had a number of other bats in the lineup, and now it's exciting to see Espinal get a shot back there and get some consistent playing time and some consistent at-bats.
Hit a mile in the air, foul.
It's so hard as a, if you're not playing every day, you get inserted every once in a while, maybe to have given Jack Bolger a break behind the plate. You get 3 at-bats and then you're not playing for 2 or 3 days, and then you're kind of in between those live ABs, but to have some consistent at-bats day after day, I think that's really helped him this season.
That's why we talk about pinch hitters a lot, right? It's one of the toughest things to do in all of sports.
Yeah.
You got to go face 90 plus with wicked breaking stuff. Today, especially, obviously, of course, Espinal's starting, and but he's coming off the bench at times, right? And has to pinch hit in certain key situations. And this year, they're trying to establish him as their everyday catcher. 3-2 pitch. Kozel will be going. There he goes. It's foul tipped into the mitt. Strikeout for Paddock to end the frame. No scores. We head to the second. We'll hear from Kayla Anderson when we come back here in
with Hankins. Last year, he led Coppin State in doubles and runs batted in as well. That was a Coppin State program that won the MEAC and went to that Greensville regional back in 2022. So some of these transfers coming in have storied careers of themselves.
Holton in danger of walking back-to-back hitters, and he does. So 4 straight fastballs. 3 were spiked. That was also low. I know as a former pitcher myself, and we can talk about it here, I want Espinal to put his target a little bit higher in the zone. Of course, you don't want to miss too high right down the middle, but obviously you have nowhere to put the 9-hole hitter here, the shortstop, and Peyton Miller, so you got to come to him here.
That's true. Yeah, you got to go to work.
Back to the windup, and it looked like a curveball there that was spiked nowhere close.
Yeah, I think, and as you mentioned, having a little trouble with the fastball, so let's try a different pitch, try and get something else rolling out of the fingers, get a different feel, but wasn't able to find it there. A huge opportunity for Miller here if he can put something in play.
1-0. Not a bad take in that spot, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Holton struggling to find the zone and able to finally put it in there.
1-1, and the turf again. Nice block by Espinal. He's getting his money worth behind the plate here today, and it just looks like Holton to me. He's just releasing too late. He's just hanging on to that baseball, maybe gripping a little bit too tight as well.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Espinal. I mean, it's one thing to block the curveballs in the dirt, to a fastball. I mean, it's really coming in there, keep it in front.
2-1. You can see Espinal, he's put the target there. You saw that injury. He put the target higher, like I was talking about in that last AB. But again, it's spiked by Holton. Just doesn't have the release point here. He's slipping on the mound as well.
Yeah, just trying to find it. See if he can here.
Big spot, 3-1. In there for a strike, and Miller was taking all the way. Wanted to see another one. Figures he's going to get that fastball again here on 3-2. Tell you what, we talk about these two programs. This is a big spot here. Bases full of Bulldogs. Runners will go. 3-2 pitch. Grounded. It's going to get through. The 3-4 hole. 2 runs are going to score. How about the 9-hole hitter and Peyton Miller setting the tone here on a Friday night in Music City. 2-0 Gonzaga.
And I say all the time, you put the ball in play, good things are going to happen. And yeah, from the 9-hole guy, he got the runners in motion. So you put the ball in play, it finds a hole. You're going to score some guys, and that's exactly what happens. You kind of saw Davis was cheating up the middle, playing a little bit towards the pull side. A heck of a job by Gonzaga.
Now back to the top of the order. Gage Mestas batting for the second time in 2 innings here. And that's another ball that's spiked. Miller's going to go. Espinal's got a cannon. Throw down the second is in time. What a play by Alan Espinal. Had to block it, move to his... Our terrific producer and our wonderful SEC Network crew, appreciate you joining us. Maybe just getting off work and enjoying some baseball here between 2 really good programs. And that was a really nice top of the second there for the Bulldogs. Didn't have a lot cooking early on in that inning. Did it all with 2 outs there. And how about the 9-hole hitter, right? You talk about guys at the bottom of the order. The 9-hole hitter there and Peyton Miller coming through.
Yeah, a heck of a job by Gonzaga, and that's what you want out of your offense. Put some runs on the board early, and now for Paddock, you want to come in and try and get a shutdown inning. And for the Commodores, got to find a way to get some runners on.
So here's Jaden Davis from Cookeville, Tennessee, transfer from Samford University.
Coming out of the break, we got a good look at some Gonzaga fans. I talked with a few of them coming in and said they got in last night, and I asked, did you do anything super Nashville today? They said, yeah, went down to Broadway, had some lunch, kind of experienced all the honky-tonks. I said, you're here, you got to.
Davis scorches one to center. This is way back, it is gone. A solo shot from Jaden Davis. A Davis ding-dong gets the Vandy boys back within 1. That thing got out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of that from Jaden Davis this year. An absolute blast to straight center. And not a lot to the swing. Very simple, very controlled. Take a look. Fastball, puts a good swing on it. A little bit of backspin, just rides out of here. Very mature approach from a mature hitter.
His first home run as a Vandy boy, and yeah, he's going to stomp on that plate. He's excited about it, and like you said, I like the way you talked about it. Didn't try and do too much. That was actually not a terrible pitch there from Paddock. That's 90. Outside part of the plate is a little bit up, right? But Davis did a nice job there.
Yeah, a lot of it is just the strength in the hands. I mean, he gets that bat through the zone super well, and those balls that for a lot of guys might be an easy out to center field. You put a little extra juice on it, again, that backspin that really rides out of here, especially a little wind helped a little bit too.
Leneve fisted off the hands. It's going to drop in left field. Leneve's got some good speed, but he's going to be content with a bloop single there. And that was actually a nice job by the left fielder out there in Temis Very to keep it in front of him. We've seen some wicked hops off this turf in the outfield over the last few years.
You kind of saw Leneve, shake out the hands towards his dugout, got in on the hands a little bit, but it's the best thing about college baseball. He's swinging a metal bat, gets in on the hands, doesn't matter. He still put the ball in play and is standing on first base.
And I know Leneve didn't scorch that thing by any means, but remember left on left against Eastern Kentucky on Wednesday as Diaz shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. Remember, he hit one off the monster in left field, and so they're going to play him against left-handers this year, and Tim Corbin really likes his chances even against southpaws. Davis Diaz, he's been on fire. Fouls one away. It's behind 0-2.
We talked about Jaden Davis's mature approach. I mean, it doesn't get much more mature than Diaz. You know exactly what you're going to get up there. He's a tough out. Another super simple swing. Not a lot of movement up there. Keeps his head still. Solid two-strike approach as well.
That was a fastball. Looked like it was kind of there. A little bit up at 89 from Paddock. Diaz was on it. Fouled it straight back. Davis Diaz, the junior out of Pittsburgh, California. He was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles on Tuesday versus Dayton, 1 for 4 with another double and 2 RBIs on Wednesday in the win versus Eastern Kentucky. He helped spark that 3-run first inning. It was a game in which Vanderbilt led 4-0 in that game. Eastern Kentucky scored 3 unanswered, and then the Doors added a key insurance run in the bottom of the 8th. Wound up winning that thing after Ginther shut the door down for his first save of the season, 5-3.
I think the biggest thing for Diaz is just plate discipline. I mean, that's a pretty solid pitch, a little bit up, but Diaz is a guy that really knows the zone.
Leneve over at first after the single. Bounced over to short. Could be 6-4-3. Trying to turn it are the Bulldogs, and they do. What a big-time pitch there from Paddock. One pitch, he gets 2 outs. And again, that's a really hot hitter. He gets and induces into a double play.
And that's the changeup from Paddock. I mean, the changeup gets some down action, so you get the ground ball, and you got a good defense behind him. Turn it and gets the job done. That's something Tim Corbin talked a lot about at the beginning of the year, is just the focusing on the mindset of these hitters as they go up to the plate. And specifically, plate discipline and swinging at good pitches. So much time and energy is focused on, swing mechanics. Do you have a good swing? Or can you replicate a good swing? What's your, launch angle? But not a lot is done on, swinging at good pitches. Sometimes a bad swing can hit a good pitch. So focusing on that plate discipline has been super important for Tim Corbin.
Boy, Paddock can't catch a break here on a couple of these. That's another bloop single. And I'll tell you what, the center fielder out there in Coop, he was way deep. No doubles type defense there from the outfield. He was near the warning track in center field, and that's what allowed Maldonado to bloop this thing in there, because that was up in the air for a while.
Yeah, it was. And in on the hands perfectly in between Coop Miller and Temis Very.
By the way, Will Owens, SID for the Vandy boys, texted me 105 off the bat from Davis, 407 feet official. Not bad for your first home run as a Door.
That wasn't a wall scraper. That he got his money's worth.
I'd like to know what it's like to hit the ball 107 feet, let alone 407.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be like maybe 10 feet to the right, so it would bang off the batter's eye. Those are always good.
Yeah. Here's Jonathan Vastine, his first plate appearance of the weekend. Counts even at 1-1. So Vastine, one of 3 lefties. Seen Kozel and Leneve. Now Vastine here. And this gets away from the backstop in Ratfield. We'll wait to see whether this is a wild pitch or a pass ball. Looked like it was in the glove and then out.
Well, they hit off the thumb of Ratfield. Take a look. Yeah, right off the thumb. And we've seen when Paddock has missed, he's missed the kind of glove side and down.
Vastine now ahead of the count, 3-1. Bolger back to the top of the order. He waits on deck. Still waiting on that ruling between wild pitch and pass ball. Maldonado over at second. Vastine takes low. I'll tell you what, he's seen it well, right? He went 0 for 3 on Wednesday, but he lined 2 balls right to the shortstop and second baseman for the Colonels, and you could just see he wasn't attempting at any of those off-speed pitches there from Paddock in that at-bat.
Yeah, super good plate discipline there by Vastine, and to have that junior presence down in the 9-hole it's kind of been a blessing there for the Commodore lineup.
They got an at-large bid. They won the regular season back in 2022, right, and did not win the tournament. And he said, it's been tough over the years, right, the WCC, to get multiple teams in, right? And he said, we're going to challenge our guys. We believe in this group. We believe in this team. And Brandon Harmon extended upon that and said, our arms got to be better. We got to fill up the zone. They did not do that. 34 free passes against UCLA last weekend. So Paddock trying to set the tone here on Friday night as that changeup misses well away arm side. Counts even at 1-1 here on Bolger.
Yeah, it's a tough opening 2 weekends. You go to UCLA and then come to Nashville, face number 6 Vanderbilt.
Big spot here for Bolger. Good change up there off the end of the bats, 1 and 2, and Bolger kind of nodding and looking over at Paddock, saying, all right, good pitch, I'll give you that.
That was a good change up, and Bolger able to get a piece of it. See if he tries to nibble on the corner again.
Maldonado at second, Vastine at first, 2 away here. 1 run in after the home run by Davis, and that change up again to the backstop, throw down to second. Vastine can scoot, he's in there safely. Not a bad idea there by Ratfield to test Vastine, make sure he was hustling all the way. He was. So that is not going to be a pass ball. That's definitely going to be a wild pitch.
Yeah, that changeup really slipped out of the hands, but you see it bangs right off the back padding, right back to the catcher in Ratfield, and able to try and make sure Vastine's hustling all the way. But runners in scoring position here for Vanderbilt.
They did score the other one, by the way, a pass ball. It is official now. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on for the Vandy boys here. Trying to take the lead. 1 swing from Bolger. Bolger takes a fastball upstairs at 89. It's 3-2. All right, I'll put you in the mind of Paddock here in Ratfield. Changeup again here on 3-2 with the base open?
I think so. I mean, if he's got a good feel for it. You don't want to give him a cookie because that's going to result in 2 runs and get the go-ahead. So I think trust with your best stuff.
That's the catcher there, and Donovan Ratfield making sure that he's on the same page with pitching coach Brandon Harmon, who's calling the pitches today. Big spot here. And now, yet again, stoppage. Derek Malika saying you have to engage and make sure Bolger's ready to go. He is. 3-2 pitch. Goes back to the changeup and struck him out. Boy, he made the adjustment there, huh? 407 feet. 112 off the bat. That first pitch from Holton, he's trying to make the adjustment, obviously. You know what, and as a former pitcher, right, he's trying to make the adjustment, okay? And obviously, you know, he sees the bunt, right, trying to pitch up in the zone there, but he's trying to make the adjustment because everything was spiked in that second inning. I actually think you're okay, and you can see it there. little bit upright, outside corner, good pitch. You can see it there, right, Andrew? He's trying to make those adjustments. Espinal, I'm looking at his target too. It's definitely up in the zone, which is actually where you want it right now. Normally you don't, of course, as he goes a little bit further down there. It's bounced over to third. Diaz is short-handed as anybody at third base, makes the play, 1 away.
Yeah, I think for Holton, I mean, that's a perfect example of what happens when you just pitch the ball in the strike zone. I mean, I think a lot of pitchers, especially pitchers that are as good as Holton, can sometimes get caught up in, I've got to hit this exact spot and I've got to, strike everybody out. Not that he has that mindset, but if you do have the stuff and you know that you can do it, sometimes it can be in the back of your mind. But if you say, all right, I'm just going to throw it in there and I'm going to hit my spot, if they hit it, most likely it's not going to really go many places, but I've got a really good defense behind me, then, kind of keep that pace going.
Stem's second time up. Struck out his first time up. A little bit of a shift going on right now with Stem at the plate. Sophomore at Erie, Colorado. Stem takes a fastball on the outer half. Great pitch there by Holton at 92. It's 1-2.
Yeah, now with 2 strikes, a large shift. You move Diaz, who's normally at third base, over in that kind of second base position. You put Davis almost out in right field.
Looks like a sweeper coming here, and it is. And Stem, for the second time, checked, swung, and went around. That's the second time he has not been able to pull back on that sweeper.
Yeah, take a look. It starts off at the hip, goes down the bottom part outside. You see the exact same swing from guys that strike out on that pitch. It's almost a half swing. By the time they make that decision to swing, they cannot hold up.
And that looked like at 81 there. That previous pitch to Stem was 77. That looked more like the traditional slider from Holton on that pitch. And you get it again there at 82. And he'll throw 2 different looks with that sweeper and that slider. Trying to make quick work of the Bulldogs and get his own shutdown inning here in the top of the third. Bounced up the middle. Davis was ranged up the middle. He had to range to his right to make the play to end the inning. An easy 1-2. He said we're going to have an early spring. I think he's been pretty on point, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, it's been super nice here the last week. And you mentioned you might have seen a future door in that little girl. That was actually a original Vandy boy, Tyler Roden, on one of the original Tim Corbin 2003 teams, who actually probably wore this jersey. And this is one of those throwback jerseys. A lot of guys that played on those teams still around in various businesses around Nashville.
Austin smokes one, but it's caught by the shortstop and Miller, who makes the play. Boy, that thing was ripped over to Miller. Had to range to his right to make the play.
A good look at Tyler Roden. Big-time pitcher on Tim Corbin pitching staff. Yeah, you think the progress that he has seen over the years since Tim Corbin came to campus, and all the different construction, and the field looked a lot different than when he was playing. It's amazing the respect that Tim Corbin specifically has for a lot of those guys, and Tim Corbin does not let it go unnoticed with these guys that are currently on the team, that the guys that came before you are what built this place. And I mean, he'll prevent the team from actually going into the locker room when they come in during the fall. They have to earn that locker room, because a lot of those guys that played when Tim Corbin first got here, they were, locker rooming out of the visiting locker room of the football field. And so a lot of programs, you come in as a freshman and you get 5 pairs of cleats and a million things of gear. Not here at Vanderbilt. You got to earn every piece of equipment, just so that it's not ingrained in you that, hey, it's not expected. You have to earn this. The people that came before you did not have the luxuries and the facilities that you guys have. And so you're going to make sure that we earn it. And so just having that mindset, and I think that's why Tim Corbin is so good at developing young men.
Ball's carrying a little bit today, but not going to be enough for Kozel, who flies out to center, second out of the inning. Talk about the gala, though, right? That this program does every year, gets everyone together, former alumni and current players, right? I know you've been a part of that and been at all those, but talk about that and what that means to this program.
Yeah, I mean, just the pregame banquet is a great way for Tim Corbin to introduce the new guys and for a lot of the older alumni to get together, and it's just a great way for the fans to interact with the players as well. But something that Tim Corbin and Maggie actually did this past winter was get all of the alumni together, specifically just the alumni in the Tim Corbin era. And I mean, to see guys like everybody from Pedro Alvarez, all the way up to Kumar Rocker. I mean, everybody kind of intermingling, and just the sheer amount of guys that were there was pretty astounding. I mean, Pedro Alvarez came all the way in from New Jersey just for that, and so the brotherhood and the fraternity that is Vanderbilt baseball is very much alive and well.
An easy 1-2-3 inning there for the Bulldogs. Coach of the Bulldogs. Evans, when he was 21 years old and fresh out of college, Mark Maktoff asked him to be an assistant coach. He said, "You've got the coaching DNA in you, and I want you to be an assistant." And he said, "You know what? I think I'm going to give this coaching thing a try." And Mark said, "There's not a day that goes by I don't thank God that he made that decision. There was an intervention that somehow led me to think that he was a guy that I needed by my side, and man, did I need him." He's been described as an incredibly positive person by pitching coach Brandon Harmon, as that slider is taken low. The counts of 1-2. Harmon got to play for him and coach with him. His wife, Kelly, who he met and fell in love with at Gonzaga, she said, "Gonzaga means more to our family than anything else," as Holton gets his 6th strikeout of the day to start this top of the 4th here. But she talked about Danny's recruiting pitch, Andrew, and said his pitch was actually simple, but it was perfect. And she said that his recruiting pitch, all he had to say was, "You come to this amazing school, this amazing community, and your life will never be the same." At most games, they hang his number 8 jersey in the dugout. There's a really good article. You can check it out, written by Connor Gilbert. It'll make you feel the man that Danny Evans was. It'll make you cry, and we're thinking of his wife Kelly and his 2 kids. And his 1-year battle. It's a really tough story, and Mark Maktoff talked about it on the phone with me earlier this week as Colton gets another punch out.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that the brotherhood through the Gonzaga baseball organization. I mean, Maktoff in his 21st season, Coach Brandon Harmon in his 12th season, Sean Winston in his 9th season. So especially among the coaches, I mean, there's a lot of longevity and a lot of trust. And I mean, you spend a lot of hours with each other. And so, you develop, they become part of your family.
It's a good story, too, when former Gonzaga athletic director Mike Roth announced his retirement back in 2021. Evan showed up to camp and said, "I got to be here for you, dude." And that's the kind of person he was. He made me cry, said former Zag AD Mike Roth. This was while Evans was battling for his life. That's the person he was. He didn't look out for himself. He looked out for others. He looked out for his family. He looked out for his Bulldog family. And, we just want to remember him. At the end of the day, everyone wants to dogpile in Omaha, Andrew. Everyone does, right? That's the goal as a unit, as a brotherhood, as a family. But sometimes it's bigger than just baseball. 0-2. Fly ball to right. Again, carrying here. But the play is going to be made on the warning track by Leneve to end the inning. 1-2-3, top of the 4th for Carter Holton. Dorsch try and tie it up or take the lead. Who beat him? The only guy to beat him so far. Solo homer. His first time up today. Jaden Davis, the Samford transfer. In case you missed it, 407 feet to dead center off the bat. You see the stats last year. 358 with 9 bombs. Take a look at it here.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad pitch there from Paddock either. Just went out. Got some good extension on it. Big, strong kid. He puts the ball in play, it's going to get juiced somewhere.
2-0 fastball that Davis was all over. Boy, look out Memorial over there.
My word.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good 2-0 approach there. I mean, he hunted the fastball. He got it a little early, but man.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say changeup here. Just a guess on 2-1. And there it is. That's a good pitch.
Yeah, anytime you have a guy that absolutely unloads on one foul, you got to change up the rhythm. That's what he does. He might come right back to it again.
2-2. Just missed outside. Great take there from Davis. I think he saw it all the way.
He did.
Now what do you think here on 3-2?
I think he might continue to try and extend him outside.
3-2 pitch. Another changeup, misses away. That's a great at-bat there by Davis. So he got that 2-0 fastball that he hammered foul, just missed his second home run of the game, and then he waved at that 2-1 changeup. Great pitch, give Paddock a lot of credit there, but then took two tough changeups for 2 balls, and he's aboard here to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, that's just what you call a quality at bat. I mean, it goes down as a walk. It's nothing too flashy, but a lot of work goes into laying off those pitches and years of developing that eye.
Grounded, 3-4 hole, and it's through. Davis was thinking third, now slams on the brakes. He's content moving up 90 feet. Yet again, Troy Leneve, that's 2 knocks for him today. He is seeing lefties so well so far here to start 2024.
Yeah, that ball runs in on the hands. He's able to pull his hands in, smack it right in the 4 hole. It did. AC Messes was played a little bit up the middle, so a little bit out of position. Wasn't able to glove it. Commodore is able to have 2 good at bats here, back to back.
Corner infielders are in here. Davis Diaz is showing bunt, pulls back here. We'll see if he shows bunt again. Said the spaghetti over to second. With analytics nowadays, right? Things we talk about all the time here in the booth. Situation like this, I think it depends on a lot of circumstances, but I think the numbers, especially the way that Diaz is seeing the ball, would say to swing away here. Instead, he's showing bunt and takes a slider in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of philosophies on, you got no outs, runners on first and second. Do you bunt? Do you give up the out to put the runners in scoring position with a hot hitter? Do you let him swing away because there's more of an opportunity for a bigger inning?
Diaz not showing bunt here. He takes a changeup, good block behind the plate by Ratfield. The count's even at 1-1.
But for anything, even just the threat of the bunt, it pulls first baseman, third baseman in a little bit, takes them out of their that 4 and 6 hole, becomes a little bit bigger, and so just the threat of the bunt opens up a lot of hitting lanes for you if you're going to swing away.
Diaz not bunting there. It's now 2-1. That had some cut action to it. Too far inside, though, from Paddock. And I'll tell you what, too, you talked about the 3-4 hole. That 5-6 hole, too, is wide open.
Yeah, it is.
Diaz 4 for his last 9 at the dish. Trying to come through yet again. Back pick attempt is not in time. Davis is back safely.
Yeah, not a bad pick there. Miller goes behind Davis, tries to catch him getting too big of a lead. Pretty good lead there by Davis again.
He does. 2-1. Another changeup. He's just seeing it so well. I mean, he really is. That's a tough pitch to lay off.
Yeah, it really is. I think when we saw Davis was able to see that changeup super well, Diaz as well.
Davis at second. Leneve at first. Crucial 3-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4.
And that's what we were talking about before, just knowing what pitches to swing at and what pitches to not swing at. And most likely you're going to put together some good ABs back to back, and that's what Commodores have done this bottom inning.
biggest jam that Paddock has been in all night here for a guy who's the best statistical returning hitter for the Vandy boys. Guy who hit .310, you see it there, 8 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Swings and misses at a changeup. Got his first hit of the season on Wednesday, felt good, right? He blooped one into center for a hit his last time up, trying to come through here. Grounded foul. That was that slider, and it's a slow pitch. That was at 72 miles an hour.
Yeah, swung through a changeup and then fouled off that slider. Maldonado definitely not up there to take any pitches. He's on go. He's got to make sure here with 0-2, he makes sure this ball is in the zone.
0-2. Cross up there, but again, the backstop. A couple of times now, that thing has rocketed right back to the catcher there.
Yeah, that's the one of the difficult things about Hawkins Field is you got a runner on third base, you get a pass ball. A lot of parks in the country, that's going to be an easy run. Not so much here at Hawkins Field. That backstop comes right back to the plate. Able to save Gonzaga there.
So he went to the slider on 0-2. He goes to the changeup there on 1-2 and misses away arm side. Has not shown Maldonado a fastball yet. Bases loaded, nobody out, big spot, 2-2. Hit foul. And there was the fastball.
Yep. Yeah, tried to go up and away and extend the zone. Maldonado, good job fouling it off.
This is what we love about this sport. It's just the cat and mouse, right? 2 strikes, maybe you're not guessing a whole lot, right? But you have to keep that fastball in the back of your mind. 2-2 again. Slider, tried to backdoor him, couldn't, and all of a sudden, the count is full. It was 0-2, the count is full here. Nowhere to put Maldonado. Paddock's got to come to him here. Three-two. Ball 4 inside.
It's a heck of an AB. I mean, he went down 0-2 and was able to work the count and force Paddock to put those balls in the zone. Paddock was not able to, and Commodore was able to tie this thing up.
That's just another terrific AB in this inning. We saw Davis do the same thing, right, to lead off this inning. He did not offer out a couple of changeups near the zone. And Maldonado there, he saw the kitchen sink from Paddock and drew a big-time walk. So we're tied up at 2, and now Jonathan Vastine, another guy who's been blistering balls, right to guys. A little bit unlucky so far. His hard hit rate has been great, and speaking of hard hit, that's hard off the foot there, and Vastine's going to feel that.
That got right off the front toe. Take a look. Gets the fastball in. Yeah, I think it was right off the top of that right foot. Oh, it's an ankle. Yeah. That'll be fine the rest of the day, but tomorrow morning, that might need to go on an extra little run, loosen it up.
Head trainer there for the Vandy boys saying, I can't promise you it's not going to be black and blue in the morning. Vastine's a warrior, though. He's trying to come in the clutch here in a big spot. Still nobody out. A 1. Hit off the knob, and it's bobbled. The tag, it's off the glove. Everybody's safe. Hustling was Maldonado to make it close. And the second baseman there and Mestis could not make the play. They could have had a shot. Listen, Vastine runs well out of the left-handed batter's box. Could have had a chance at 2 there. Would have been tough. They get nobody, though.
Yeah, it's a tough ball to field. I mean, you saw the bounce that took right before the mound. as an infielder, that ball gets up on you. It is spinning weird. By the time it gets in your glove, it can crawl up in the glove. You just got to really try and trap that thing. Very much different than a normal ball because it's not just going to stick in your glove normally. But he also had the runner in Maldonado kind of crashing in on him. A lot of stuff kind of happening at once, and Mesta is not able to make the play.
So now Jack Bolger, it's his turn. They're sticking with Paddock here, their Friday night guy. He made the pitch there to Vastine.
He did, yeah, and he got what he wanted. I mean, he got the ground ball, but wasn't able to make the play. And this is kind of the trappings of the way Commodores are able to manufacture innings.
Bolger skies one to right, carrying the warning track. Stem makes the play. It's going to get the job done, though. Diaz going to come in and score. It's a productive first out of the inning there by Jack Bolger. And that's what he's trying to do, right? Lift the baseball.
Yeah, I mean, just been good at bat after good at bat. And Bolger, no different. Gets a ball elevated that he can put a good swing on and puts that ball deep into right field. Nice swing. Able to move up the runners and score Diaz there from third base.
Diaz not having to even think about breaking early there. It's way deep, knew he was going to score with ease. Here's R.J. Austin. Austin 1 for 2 today. He bulleted a ball over 100 miles an hour off the bat to the shortstop in Miller last time up. Couple of things. They're trying to let, it seems like, Paddock pitch through some adversity, right, in his second game of the season. Also, too, you want to save a lot of the bullpen, right? You know, you don't want to wear everybody out on a Friday, as that's fouled off. Counts even at 1-1.
Yeah, Friday in the fourth inning, you go straight to the pin. By the end of the second game, and especially into Sunday, you're running thin. So try and extend your starter here on Friday as long as possible. But as a hitting team, as for the Commodores, you try and get this guy out quickly. And I mean, Paddock already here, 81 pitches in the bottom of the fourth.
1-1, out to right. Slicing away from the right fielder, but Stem is going to make the play in fair territory, so it's going to be another sacrifice fly and another productive out. Now going to second is Vastine. Not a great decision there by Vastine trying to catch the Bulldog sleeping defensively. Home plate umpire in Derek Malika says the run counts, so the run will count. Tag was applied after the run scored. 5-2 Vandy boys, they strike for 4 in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, very much.
A lot of times, right, you're a middle infielder, right? You played all over the diamond. You see dekes sometimes from second baseman and shortstops, right, on tag plays, potential, situations like that where you're acting like the ball's not coming to you. You see it from catchers as well. But it kind of seemed like Stem forgot how many outs there were, and it worked in Gonzaga's favor.
It worked for him. Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to maybe try and let that ball go, because knowing that if he caught that foul, the run was going to score, but took the out, and just glad he didn't throw it into the stands. Definitely have seen that before. Make the second out and throw the ball in the stands.
That's one of the differences, I guess, right, between college baseball and Major League Baseball is, they're not getting rid of baseballs every pitch, right? you're keeping a lot of these baseballs in play. And so Stem was not going to give that to a fan in that spot. And that's just another ridiculous slider from Holton. So talk to us about this. Going a lot of fastball sweeper, right, in the first couple of frames, but that's just a traditional slider there from Holton. He's been throwing that a lot more the last 2 innings.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more down action. You see 8 Ks already on the day here, and only in the top of the fifth.
Here's Josh Hankins. He had a really good first at-bat. Wound up drawing a walk that extended the inning. That got Peyton Miller, who's waiting on deck, up to the plate on a 3-ball, 2-strike, 2-out pitch. Miller delivered a 2-run single through the 3-4 hole as Hankins skies one to center. R.J. Austin will make the play.
And a nice job by Holton here. Your offense goes out, puts up a 4 spot in the bottom of the fourth. As a pitcher, you say, hey, you got to go out. Let's get a quick, 1, 2, 3, and get back in here. Kind of keep that momentum rolling. So Holton doing his job out there.
Carter Holton, who again got hurt after that Alabama start in Tuscaloosa last year, did not pitch the rest of the season. He threw 50 and a third innings, 4.11 ERA in 11 starts, had 56 strikeouts, 24 walks. 6 of his 11 starts last year, he went at least 5 innings, allowing 2 runs or less, as Miller shoots one out to right, and the play is made by Leneve. Nice. All right, so Paddock, he's thrown 83 pitches, and he had to throw a lot of pressure pitches, right? We talk about that a lot, and that word pressure, you know, in that 4th inning. You were a little surprised this early in the year to see him back out here for the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, at 84 pitches and...
Foul ball.
Wow.
Just foul. First base umpire Joseph Smith was all over it.
Yeah, I mean, 84 pitches, and I was a little surprised him going back out there, but I think for Gonzaga to be able to, you know, stay in this game, only 3 runs down, you know, throw everything you can to, you know, try and take this first game. I mean, you're not going to extend somebody too long, but I think Paddock, I mean, he's been in a good spot. And other than last inning, I mean, he's really kept these hitters off balance.
Fastball just misses low. We were giving Paddock a lot of credit, battling with a tough lineup in Vanderbilt, but give the Doors a lot of credit last inning as Kozel takes ball 4. So a walk to lead off the bottom of the 5th, but they're seeing it terrific at the plate the last couple of innings or so. They're laying off a lot of tough changeups and sliders and really hunting that fastball.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we saw last inning was just quality at bats. I mean, whether it was a walk or, I mean, that AB there from Kozel was another quality at bat as well. It seems like every pitch is super intentional, and these hitters are, you know, really locked in up there and not giving away any ABs. I think that might be it, though, for Paddock, as Coach Macdoff out.
So Mark Mactoff out to the mound. He's looking over at the bullpen. And that is going to be the end of the line for Liam Paddock. So he throws 4+, and he was cruising until that homer by Davis in the 2nd, but then a shutout for...
After talking to all his family members, he decided it was best for him to come back. He wanted to get the ultimate college experience, and then he knew it would benefit him on the field as much as it could, you know, getting more experience in playing. And he said the biggest thing that he's learned, you know, behind the plate is really having that short-term memory and having that patience. And he hopes to continue to grow this season. And you've seen it early on, guys. He has a heck of a cannon back there. He's been good at the plate, too. But just being able to get those consistent starts really helps his growth.
Yeah, that's been all. I mean, one of the better arms behind the plate we've seen come through this program. I mean, an absolute cannon, just throws strikes down to second base. And for him to be able to come back this year, I mean, he's put in a lot of time from his freshman, sophomore, junior year. Now his senior year, getting a chance to play very consistently. I mean, as you mentioned, Kayla, just super excited for his future.
And he's so incredibly humble, you guys. I really enjoyed talking to Alan because I had not gotten a chance to 2 years prior to this. And when I told him, you know, you have a heck of a cannon on, yeah, when it comes to your arm, he kind of laughed and said, yeah, I don't ever think of it that way.
Well, those are the guys that usually are the best that don't appreciate it, like us up here who are now calling games and no longer playing.
If I tried to throw a baseball right now, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can make it 60 feet 6 inches. Espinal shows bunt, pulls back. It's 2-1. But yeah, and I like what you said there, Kayla. We'll get to the new pitcher here for Gonzaga in just a moment. I like what you said there, Kayla, about short-term memory, right, Andrew? As a catcher, you cannot take, it's the biggest position where you cannot take your last at bat into the next frame because you got to work with your man on the mound.
Yeah, I think for him, spending so much time with these pitchers, I mean, from his freshman year all the way up to now, You think about the hours in the bullpen and the relationships he has with a lot of these pitchers who are seniors, as well as some of the younger guys. So to kind of taking those guys under his wing, and he spent a lot of time with those guys down in the pitching lab.
Espinal draws a walk there. We're going to get to this new pitcher here, and Trayson Peters. Peters, he's pretty big here, Andrew. 6'7" junior, 240 pounds, out of Cottonwood, Arizona. This is his second appearance of the season. He threw to 2 batters last weekend against UCLA and got 2 outs on 8 pitches. And Brandon Harmon was telling me on the phone, he gave a comp, and he said, he pitches like Noah Syndergaard. He looks like Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, good velo. You see the curveball there. A good velo on the fastball, and yeah, that ball is really coming at a tall angle. It's tough for those hitters to pick it up out of the hand.
And Brandon Harmon was saying that he throws about 5 to 6 different pitches. There's a slider there, tough play, 5-6 hole, good diving play there by Miller. That prevents a run from scoring, but the bases are loaded with nobody out yet again. Back-to-back innings here for the Vandy boys.
Yeah, heck of a play there by Miller. This ball almost sneaks right through. I think Kojal might have had an opportunity to score, given the fact that Dennis Berry, the left fielder, was playing pretty far back. But tough spot here. I mean, you got a big power threat at the plate with Troy Leneve here, bases loaded.
Leneve 4 for 17 on the season. Struggled in the first series against Florida Atlantic, but he has looked calm, cool, and collected at the plate the last couple of games. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles, and those both came off a southpaw. Left on left, no problem. Now he gets the righty here in a big spot. 0-1, blows it by him at 92.
Oh, he was on it. Just barrel a little bit below it. It looked like he was right on time. Now 0-2. Gotta go to work if you're Troy Leneve. If you're Peters, just try and get the ball low, get a ground ball, and try and get a double play.
0-2 swung on and missed. Makes quick work of Leneve. Just a power fastball up in the zone. Got Leneve to chase.
Yeah, fastball right at the letters. Again, Leneve looked like he was maybe a little bit behind it. But that barrel a couple inches below, and gotta give Peters some credit. Really went at Leneve now. Yeah, just probably one pitch away from potentially getting out of this, but a tough do here with Diaz here at the plate. And maybe a cross up there with Ratfield. The catcher kind of gave him the, what was that? And maybe he was looking for the fastball and got a curveball.
Doesn't look like there's a pitch comm either, by the way. Looks like it's traditional signs for the Bulldogs, and that's in the turf. Gets by Ratfield, and a run will score. Colesville comes in. It's now 6-2. Looked like that might have been a cross-up, too.
I think it was. Or it might have just been, yeah, because it looked like Ratfield was expecting that ball to maybe bounce somewhere different, right up the wrist. Normally, if he knew that was going to be a curveball, he might have gotten out there, tried to block it up, but if he thought it might have just been a fastball, he was going to try and pick it.
2-0, Diaz could be a play at the plate. Running on contact was Espinal, and a nice play there by Hankins, the third baseman, who fires over to Ratfield for the second out of the inning. So contact play on there, and Hankins makes the play.
Yeah, definitely had the green light there, and Tim Corbin known to do that. Runner on third base, anytime that ball is hit on the ground, if it's a green light, the thought process behind that is it takes a lot for an infielder to grab the ball, say, oh, dang, he's actually going, and then make a nice throw to the catcher. So you put extra pressure on the defense. I mean, you're up by 4 runs, so you try and kind of keep that gas pedal on, especially, you know, that runner on third base with that ball going straight to the third baseman.
So now Maldonado here. He was 1 for 1 with a walk today. Bloop single to center his first time up. Drew a walk with the bases loaded in the 4th. Swings and misses at a wicked slider. So Gonzaga led 2-0 in the 2nd. 6 unanswered runs here for the number 6 team in the country. Slider gets away from Ratfield. Boy, been a tough goal. That gets into the dugout, so everyone just gets 1 base. You don't get to come in and score. Everyone moves up 90 feet. A lot of this, too, could be the crowd noise, right? The fans playing on the road, Andrew. It's not easy playing here at the Hawk. There's a lot of adrenaline before the game, right? And you know, some of these guys are playing, again, 23 newcomers. Some of these guys are playing at the Division I level for the very first time. As Maldonado skies one into the Nashville night. Miller calls it and makes the play. Boy, he had to go all the way towards right field to make the play and slams the ball down on the turf in frustration, but he made the play. 6-2. Way back in it, only down by 4 here in the 6th. Talked about the velo. It's a fastball upstairs at 98. Matches his number there. But the issue, you could talk about it, you're on the call with Kevin for the opener. The issue was the walks. He walked 7 guys in 3 innings in the opener. That was 99.
Yeah, a lot of times you throw the ball 98, 99. That ball's got a lot of movement on it, so might tail off the plate, not really go exactly where you want. So putting it exactly where Grayson Carter wants did get him a little bit in trouble back there on Friday, but you know, out of the pin, super effective.
Check swing. Going around that time was Gage Mestis. Mestis 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. He's 2 for 10 on the season. 2-2. Grounded over to first. Maldonado, good play to pick that on the short hop and takes it himself to the bag.
That ball got in on the hands of Mestis, and yeah, nice job, Maldonado. Not your typical first baseman. Played a lot of different positions for the Commodores and middle infielder and throughout high school, so able to read that hop, get on the pick, and easy play.
Fastball century mark, 100 miles an hour there from Carter. Triple digits.
Yeah, you have very little time to make up your mind at the plate before you swing, and so you wrinkle in some off speed and some movement and some other pitches. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to do in sports. I mean, you can't even really pick up the ball. It's just like a streak coming at you.
I always chuckle too when I see 100 and then the next pitch is an off-speed pitch. Kind of looked like a back foot slider at 91.
Yeah. Not fun.
Do you have a Vandy boy comparison to this guy on the mound?
Whew. Speed-wise, yes. I mean, you're thinking, you know, a Sonny Gray type speed, especially when Sonny was more of a, you know, closer in his freshman year there at Vandy before he kind of moved in the starting role. But yeah, size-wise, angle, I mean, it's a tough comparison.
Bounced over to second. Davis will make the play, and a couple of batters, a couple of ground outs. And Scott Brown is going to be so happy about this half inning, hoping that Carter finishes it well. Because you know what? He's saying, listen, right? You throw near 100 miles an hour. I know these D1 guys, they can hit, right, Andrew? They can, right? You throw it over the middle, anybody can hit that. But at the same time, he wants to see him pound the zone here in his second outing of the season. That was 101.
Yeah. Yeah, the ball's moving.
That looked like it had a little sink to it, too.
Yeah, you saw Espinal wasn't able to glove it, so.
Swing and a miss.
I mean, he's living 100, 101.
What was he sitting against FAU?
He wasn't up there. I mean, he was probably 90, Probably the fastest we saw, maybe 98.
Popped up foul over our heads and out of play. That was, it says 103. That's what it says here at the Hawk.
He might have hit a sweet spot there on the gun.
I'm just
we'll
relaying
roll with it.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
roll
relaying
with it.
what it says.
Yeah.
That says 103 on the gun. A lot of scouts here watching this man on the mound as that's fouled off. That's 102, so I don't know.
Okay, maybe got a little extra oomph on it.
I was going to ask, by the way, too, velo could be a little bit of a difference here. Obviously, now second outing of the year, but also coming out of the pen, right? He's not starting here, right? Sometimes starters ease up a little bit, right? Work their way into it.
It's also a little warmer tonight,
right,
so muscles get a little looser, and he's pumping it in there.
Temis Ferry just missed outside. Carter wanted it. Derek Malika said it just missed off the outer edge. Take a look.
Ooh. Maybe a little off, maybe a little low. He wanted it. Grayson Carter is about to jump off that mound.
1-2. Swing and a miss. 102 upstairs. High heat. Carter with the cheddar. A monster has been unleashed. Up. Listen, it's 53 degrees. I think a lot of people take that here, but bundled up. Once the sun goes down, though, it gets a little bit chillier, and it's been windy throughout. It's about 14-mile-an-hour winds.
I mean, February 23rd, this weather, I'll take it any day compared to past years.
Peters is on for his second inning of work. He allowed a hit and a walk. A run did score at the bottom of the fifth, but that run was charged to Paddock. Get to Paddock's final line after this pitch. Vastine off the end of the bat. Play is going to be made out there in right field by Stem for the first out of the inning. So Paddock, 4 innings plus. He allowed 6 runs, 5 earned, 5 hits, 6 walks. Struck out 2 through 88 pitches. And again, Paddock looked solid until the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, he did, and you just hope that Peters can, continue keeping that pin safe.
Hey guys, you were talking about some Zags fans earlier and how there's a group of them here. I'm from Spokane, Washington, born and raised, and I will say it is quite the trek all the way from up there in the Pacific Northwest, and the time changes too is incredible, right? Like it's Pacific time, we're on Central time. So
Kayla, you may have to call a homer here. It's gone. Bolger bomb. Vandy boys our fans are thinking Kayla's got to do more pieces if Bolger's going to piece one up like that. It's 7-2.
It's a heck of a swing there by Jack Bolger, and you see the excitement from the Commodore dugout. Really been putting some good swings on the ball the past 2 weeks. And take a look at the swing here. Times it up, fastball runs over the middle of the plate, and Jack Bolger, big strong guy, at one of the bigger parts of the park, the right center.
Kayla, you were saying?
Well, that was fun, guys, and I hope I let you live the moment a little there too. I didn't want to be talking over that.
I was going to let you call it, Kayla.
My
I was ready to hear it.
Next time I will do that. But they're making the most of this trip, you guys. They're not only going to have this series with Vanderbilt, but then they're going to travel up to Clarksville, and they're going to go ahead and take on Austin Peay on Monday. So.
Yeah, I think they're doing Austin Peay, and then they're going out to Utah and playing BYU. So a big trip, a lot of different places for Gonzaga.
You know, Kayla, I got the chance last year to actually call a soccer tournament in Spokane, and I got to make that trek from Nashville to Spokane. Had to fly in to Denver before, taking that connection flight. And I got to tell you, it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And I talked about that with both coaches on the phone this week, and it was such a unique experience. It was so beautiful over there. People don't realize, too, it's right on the border of Idaho, right? So you get some of the waterfalls over there, and we got to go see some really cool places. It's a stunning place to be.
Yeah, it's a great place to grow up, and I'll tell you guys, well, maybe I should just start talking.
Throw to third, gets by the third baseman there, and Things unraveling a little bit here for the Bulldogs. That got past Hankins. It's now 2nd and 3rd because of the throwing error.
And because Kayla was speaking. These are like good things happen for the Vandy boys when Kayla's on the mic. A nice piece of hitting there by Kozel. Fastball on the outside corner. Able to shoot it to left field. And these Commodore runners just continuing to push the envelope. Anything else you want to add over there?
I mean, heck, I might as well start talking, and Allen hit a home run. So, no, but I was going to mention, you know, they're known, they've put Spokane on the map, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have, because of their basketball program, of course. Mark Few's been there for years, making the tournament every single year. But, guys, beware, Lenardi has them the last 4 in right now, and I don't know if it's looking too good for those Zags. They got to win that WCC tournament.
Yeah.
Good slider there. It's 0-2. They're dealing with St. Mary's. St. Mary's has not lost a game in the WCC this year, and Gonzaga was hoping that they'd get him in the last game of the year and have the chance to at least tie them because St. Mary's beat them on the road in Spokane. 0-2. Slider. Good leave there from Espinal. It's a good pitch.
Yeah, but Kayla, for any Gonzaga fans that are visiting Nashville, any places you think they should check out?
Yeah, my mom was just here last week from Spokane, and
and a base hit to left.
I cannot. This is hilarious. It's great.
Throw to the plate was not cut off. It's just not great communication there. That allows Espinal to move into scoring position. It's now 8-2.
Yeah, I think just an elevated pitch here from Peters. Tried to get that slider down the zone, but left it just a bit up. And Espinal able to put a good whack on it. These Commodore hitters taking advantage of some missed pitches from Peters here as he gets a little bit higher up in that pitch count.
I want to hear about Rex in a moment and talking about Kayla's mom who is visiting from Spokane real quickly. Talk about Espinal real fast, laying off the slider on the pitch before, a wicked pitch, and then he gets the slider elevated there.
Yeah, I mean, does a fantastic job of just putting the ball in play in a pitch that he can handle.
Kind of surprised the infield was playing back there as Davis almost beat the throw by Miller to first. He did not. It's the second out of the inning, but they concede a run there. I'm a little surprised they didn't go infield in. The run rule is in effect tonight, so a little bit surprised there. But anyway, Kayla, back to you. Lots happened here in the bottom of the 6th, but your mom came in from Spokane.
Yeah, Mom came in from Spokane. We stayed downtown so she could really live up the downtown experience. So you at least have to try Broadway once, but let's make that during the day, folks. That's the key. And then I think just the Country Music Hall of Fame, if you're a country fan, music fan, it's a really cool tour. Really cool displays and artists, so that's a fun thing to do. And then go check out like Franklin. It's kind of an older little town. Lots to do down there, lots of good shopping. So, and great food everywhere, guys. You know that.
Thanks, Kayla. As a full-time Nashville resident, grew up here, I have a lot of opinions, but it's always good to get somebody else's opinion as well.
Fly ball to right. Boy, that was way into the Nashville night. That's going to be caught. While we were talking about the Gonzaga Bulldogs and what to do.
Carter throwing absolute flames up on the mound.
Bounced over to first, and that's the thing, too. He got 2 ground outs just like that to start off the inning, then got that big strikeout. But, you know, in ways pitching to contact, they want to see him. Does Scott Brown, Tim Corbin and company throw strikes today after walking 7 in his debut last weekend? He looks really sharp here tonight.
Yeah, we saw 103 last inning from Carter. I thought that might have been a hot spot on the gun, but we actually got confirmation from the TrackMan that was indeed correct. So I stand corrected. I mean, he's pumping it up there, consistent triple digits.
Yeah, his sequence to Temesveri, fastball at 101. As you see a fastball there, 97 with some cut action. Fastball at 101, fastball at 100, fastball at 103, then 102, 101, 102.
Gosh. Has some juice on it.
0-2. Fouled away.
Yeah, anytime you go up there and you see 103 on the gun, you think, was that off the bat or was that out of the hand? But it was out of the hand. Grayson Carter Really pumping it in there.
1-2 pitch. It's a slider there at 83. And you just think about the difference in that. I mean, he's touched 103 today. He's taken 20 miles an hour off.
That's not fair. That's not fair as a hitter.
Give Coop credit for sticking in here. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Slider at 85. Nastiness from number 98.
Yeah, you see a 98-mile-an-hour fastball and then 85 with that action. As a right-hander, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do unless you're really trying to sit on it. But goodness gracious, really good stuff we've seen from Carter.
Goodness Grayson. that's what he's been tonight. And that is to the backstop at 100. And I'll tell you, breathing a sigh of relief there seriously is Derek Malika. Boy, 100 miles an hour whizzing right by the home plate umpire. He was kind of, you could see he was putting the thumbs up. He's like, I'm good, didn't get me. He's saying, let's not do that again, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have seen that before, and it was with somebody else who could throw 100, and it was with Carson Fulmer. Had a cross-up with the catcher and thought it was going to be a curveball. It was not a curveball. It was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right to the face mask of the home plate umpire. And he went down like a sack of potatoes. He ended up being okay, but definitely knocked him out. One of the wildest things I've seen here at Hawkins Field. So glad that did not happen to our home plate umpire tonight.
You know, that actually reminds me of one of my former teammates at Evansville. We got to face Fulmer here in a midweek, and Fulmer's throwing about 97 to 100. 98 right off the calf.
Not good. Not good.
It was a sight to behold, as that's bounce fair ball. So that was an interesting little shift they had on there, despite how fast Carter's throwing, touching 100 miles an hour plus on the gun. They had Maldonado well off the line.
Yeah, he was a good bit off of that first baseline. And yeah, you'd think with the velo for Carter, you want to play kind of towards that opposite field, but obviously we don't have all the stats in front of us, and that's why they are able to position those guys super well.
So 2 away. Tell you what, though, nice piece of hitting by Ratfield. He's got 2 of the 3 hits tonight. That was a nice piece of hitting, not trying to do too much with 100 miles an hour, just shooting it the other way.
There's not much you can do with 100 miles an hour. Just put the bat on it and let the velo take over.
So that was a changeup there, Andrew, at 90. He's working that in as well. One. Goes back to the hard stuff. It's fouled away. Carter 1 strike away here from dancing around that 2-out knock. Pitching. It's what Vanderbilt prides themselves on. 5-3 win against Eastern Kentucky. Some pretty good arms. A lot of new faces in that game on Wednesday. New faces combined with, of course, Dukanich, who is not a new face. He threw 6 2/3 innings last year, but again, he got hurt pretty early on in the season. But the Duke is what they've been calling him. 4 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts on 71 pitches in his first start back from injury last year. And Holton, again, another guy who got injured towards the end of last year, still threw 50-plus innings. He gave them a lot here in this series opener, here in this second series of the season. Foul tipped off of Espinal, and Espinal frustrated with himself there that he didn't hold on to it.
Yeah, tipped right off the glove there of Espinal. Nice job by hitter Eisenstadt to stay alive.
Not holding on Ratfield. 3-2, grounded. Over to second, Davis shifting to his left, over to Maldonado. Another shutout inning for Carter. Stretch time here in Nashville. Doors on top.
asking him about the confidence of this team. You know, as a Vandy boy, you always got to have that confidence. But he said there's something different about this group, and that's also what Davis Diaz told me too earlier on last week. He said it's from chirping in the training room to, you know, just getting our confidence up however we can. We're competitive with one another, and we hope that that rubs off on the field as the season goes on. So I think it's a really fun thing to watch with these guys. You can tell it's a confident group, and we're still really early on in the season.
Yeah, that confidence comes from, you know, just being in different situations. You think about last year, winning the SEC championship, and you put yourself in situations to handle some pressure and succeed. And a lot of those guys returning from that year, and so having guys who have been through that, I think it makes that next year super important. And so you think about when Tim Corbin got here, this program was really struggling, and so the biggest thing for them was to have some early successes.
Tough play by the third baseman there. And Hankins, who had to range to his left, fires across the diamond for the first out of the inning.
And you think about, the first, big success for them was, making it to a super regional against Texas. That really springboarded the program, to be able to, make regionals year after year. And in 2011, finally made it to the College World Series. They weren't able to, get the job done then, but that set up then following few years to have some success, and then eventually 2014 to actually win it. And so having the ability to build upon each year is super helpful, and to have guys in your program that have been through those experiences just make that next year more valuable.
Remember, we talked about it too, and that's something that Kayla was just talking about. You were just talking about it early on in the season, right? Early on in the year, as we see Ray Velasquez, the sophomore out of Lowell, Massachusetts, who bangs one into left, and the dugout is fired up about that. Velasquez has his first knock of the season.
I had not seen Velasquez yet, but the heck of a player from up northeast. Sees a hanging slider, and good piece of hitting there. A guy who has really worked super hard to get on the field, and Tim Corbin, hitting coach Mike Baxter, has said this fall, he really turned some heads, and I think he's going to find his way to help these Commodore hitters out in this lineup some way this season.
So Velasquez is aboard. Mentioned it earlier, but the run rule is in effect. So if the Vandy boys strike for 3 here in the bottom of the 7th, the game is over. Bastine takes a changeup away, counts even at 1-1. But going back to what Kayla was talking about, what you were talking about, right? Program growing, and also too early on in the season, right? Trying to find the pieces to the puzzle, right? To set up your success later on in the year. Come SEC play, come SEC tournament play, then of course come potential chance at a regional, super regional, Omaha, all that jazz. But said it on Wednesday, just going to repeat it. Lost the 4th game of the season last year to Central Arkansas. They went on to win 27 of their next 32 games, 27-5. Took 2 against UCLA, who was ranked. They swept number 3 Ole Miss, swept Mississippi State, swept Georgia. Series wins against South Carolina and Mizzou. So you're looking for responses, right? You get one here against a team who didn't make a regional last year, but made it in back-to-back years in 2021 and 2022 as Vastine hits one out to left. It's going to be a big-time collision in left center. The play is made by the center fielder and Coop, who goes down, and he took the brunt of that from Temis Very, and it looks like he's okay. Pops right back up. Speaking of a bulldog, he's one of them.
Yeah, they were both running full speed. It was perfectly right in the middle and left center. The ball was tagged well from Vastine. Take a look here. Not a lot of communication. Luckily, they kind of collided midsection. They didn't look like they hit heads or anything else. So I think that could have been a lot worse. And I can smile about it now, but man, yeah, big efforts from both those guys. Just glad they're both okay.
Another pinch hitter here. Jack Bolger's day is done. This is Calvin Hewitt. Saw him on Wednesday. Hewitt went 0 for 3. But also, too, when it's loud, right? I mean, it's loud here at the Hawk. It's hard to hear when someone's saying, I got it, I got it, I got it out there.
Well, it's also hard to hear when you're running full speed
Right.
and there's wind in your ears.
Right.
And your adrenaline takes over. You want to make the play. So these two guys going hard.
Velasquez still at first. Fastball at 90, misses away. It's 2-0. By the way, Tony Kemp today. I want to make sure we get to our guy, Tony Kemp.
Yeah, the Reds.
Signed a minors league deal with the Reds with a camp invite. So make sure that talk about him. It's a big deal. Reds faithful going to love him.
It's always good to see. You turn on MLB Network and see the spring training games, and I usually will just leave it on around throughout the day, and I'll walk in and say, oh, I know that guy. A lot of Andy boys throughout major leagues, especially out in spring training, throughout minor league baseball as well. Some guys getting some shots at big league camp. And you think about specifically at the MLB level, for both Tim Corbin and Mark Mactoff, I mean, between the two of them, they've coached over 60 players that have reached the show. I mean, that is pretty amazing, the amount of talent that both of these coaches have developed through their programs.
Austin was thinking about potentially ending this game here on that swing. Swings and misses at the slider. But yeah, 576 career wins for Mactoff. Tim Corbin, 886 career wins as that fastball misses up and away. It counts even at 1-1. 1,462 combined wins between these two head coaches. And you had a good nugget. You're telling me before the game. Got to coach with each other a while back, Team USA?
They did, yeah. I think it was back in 2006. Tim Corbin was a head coach of Team USA. Mark Mactoff was assistant coach, and that team had 3 Vanderbilt players: Pedro Alvarez, David Price, Casey Weathers, and a lot of other guys that you probably have heard of playing in the major leagues still.
Diving play by Phelan, feeling it there, makes the play to end the inning. Peters gets out of the jam. Stand up at the box, you'll feel the heat against this guy. It's been throwing as high as 103 today. On track, man, that's confirmed from Carter. Had a sequence where he didn't throw a pitch below 100. Banged into right, base hit. Maybe trying to spark something here is Hankins. Second time he's been aboard. He's now 1 for 2 with the walk.
Yeah, anytime you got a guy up there that's throwing 100, you get up there, sit on the fastball, you know it's coming. Just put a swing on it, and usually you make contact with it, it's going to come off pretty quickly. And now, if you're Gonzaga, you're able to get Carter in the stretch and hopefully try and throw off his rhythm, but Carter got to go to work here.
Miller bounces one to third. It's going to roll foul.
As a hitter, we got a guy that with such velo as Carter. I mean, it is very tough to adjust to some of the off-speed pitches. So kind of got to just fully commit, with less than 2 strikes, and then just hope that you don't get to 2 strikes, because there's a lot to think about up there.
Slider kind of backed up on Carter there. Counts even at 1-1. Talked about it on Wednesday, but losing a plethora of arms, right? Hunter Owen taken in the 4th round by the Royals. Maldonado, stellar closer, 1.45 ERA, 8 saves. Taken in the 8th round by the Marlins, as that's fouled off. Then Patrick Riley, who is a reliever, also started some midweeks. Patrick Riley, 5th round by the Pirates. He threw 48 innings, primarily out of the pen. Thomas Schultz, of course, who closed at times a couple years back, threw 33 innings last year. 9th round by the Nationals. Grayson Moore, 14th round by the Cubs. As that slider again backs up on Carter. Counts even at 2-2, right? So there's always question marks in the season, no matter whether you're Gonzaga, Vanderbilt, whoever you may be, right? You know, and establishing roles out of the bullpen. Bullpen's one of the biggest things that you have to establish, you know, early on in the season to see where you're going to be, right? And so Carter's a guy they're so excited about. As this is bounced, someone's got to cover first here, and nobody did. So Velasquez, who's playing at first for the first time this season, he was coming up for it. Looked like it was Carter's ball all the way, and then Davis, who was shading up the middle, the double play death, Andrew couldn't get over.
Yeah, it did look like Davis recognized it quickly and tried to hustle over there, but yeah, just a tough spot. I mean, it really was right in the middle between Carter and Velasquez, but nonetheless, able to get Gonzaga on here with nobody out.
And back to the top of the order. Mesta shoots one to right, foul. Look out. Oh, and that was caught.
Wow.
Whoa.
I think that's one of the best plays we've seen so far, gosh, in the last 10 years here at Hawkins Field.
98-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at that.
Wow. And he got up and tried to take the standing O. Appreciate that.
Does he have eligibility left?
Man.
Someone's got to scout that guy over there.
Especially earlier in the year, like usually people are bundled up. They're not willing to go out of their way to make them. I mean, that was a line drive, caught it bare hand. That was super impressive.
I mean, that's a web gem.
Big time.
that's top 10 ESPN top 10-esque. Boy, what a play. No fear, too. And by the way, a warrior protecting everyone over there. He's talking about, he's like, listen, I woke up today knowing this was going to happen. Talking to his buddy there. Boy, that's a big-time snag. Meanwhile, counts 2-1 here. Hit out towards right center. Laniv goes back to get it, and tagging over at second is Hankins. He'll go to third and move up 90 feet. One away. A couple of guys were just patting the fan who just made that catch, saying thank you. You just protected us.
Yeah, everybody towards the outfield side was in for a rude awakening if he did not catch that. So, yeah, I mean, super impressed.
Good job, by the way, by our camera crew to get that. That's good stuff. Everybody's working hard today in the series opener. All right, Sam Stem. Hunting first pitch fastball. So Carter, he's yet to throw a pitch at 100 in this inning. Mind you, 96 to 98 is pretty fast in and of itself. This is pitch number 47 coming up. Stem, the best statistical returner in this lineup for Gonzaga. Guy who walked on to the team last year. Really good story. Coach Mark Maktoff and I were talking about it, and I said, did you expect what he delivered for you last year? He said, absolutely not. He said he walked on to the team, weren't sure where he was going to fit in. He won the job. So he's a great kid, plays a great right field, good outfielder, as he takes a called strike three. It's the third time he's gone down today, and a big pitch there for Carter for the second out of the inning.
That took a little bit off. It's still 95, fastball on the outside corner. He's not able to pull the trigger. "11 strikeouts on the night for this Vanderbilt pitching staff."
Carter's got 3 of them, and boy, that's 97. You see it there on your screen with cut action.
I was gonna say, I had some down angle action. I mean, that is, whew.
That's just biting so hard, glove side. What's interesting, too, is his slider, in terms of velo, has kind of been all over the place. We've seen it as low as 82. That was the fastest one I think we've seen at 87. Temes Verity trying to come through here. Fouled off of Espinal. He's going to be bruised up after this one.
Yeah, he's doing a good job back there. That one 100 out of the hand from Carter and then fouled off on the leg, and he is taking a beating.
Temes Verity was the guy who saw 103 in his last at bat. See what Carter goes with here. 1-2. Spikes it in the turf. Espinal could be a play at the plate, trying to make it himself. He applies the tag. All alone was Espinal. Carter a little bit late covering home, does it himself. Kayla Anderson would be very proud after her conversation with this guy. What a play.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the ball just ricochets right back to Espinal. Temes Verity tries to get that left hand in.
That was amazing.
It's tough as a visiting team. You're not used to playing here at Hawkins Field. You just assume that, oh, a pass ball, I'm going to be able to get there. But, yeah, that ball just ricocheted right there. I think we got a pinch hitter here. Colin Barzy.
So first time we're seeing Colin Barzy here, the freshman out of Naperville, Illinois. Pride and joy of Naperville Central High School. It's another freshman that they're excited about. Speaking of backstops, by the way, he's a catcher. Pretty good defender behind the plate. He's going to get his chances here in Nashville. Barzy, who batted .445 as a senior, 9 home runs. He was ranked the #3 catcher by Perfect Game and the number 15 overall player from the state of Illinois. All-state guy last year. And a good fact for you, talking about Espinal's family, right? His brother playing baseball in college. Well, Barzy's father, Scott, played baseball at Northwestern. Bounced up the middle, and how about that? Really nice approach there by Barzy. His first career at-bat, bangs one up the middle, and yeah, he's gonna smile about it, absolutely.
Yeah, you love seeing guys get in there, get some pinch hit opportunities, and getting a knock. We saw Velasquez do the same thing a couple ABs ago, but Barzy, a great young hitter that, yeah, these coaches are super excited about. I mean, both behind the plate, but also offensively, and I do think, Barzy, one of those guys that can make his way into that lineup. This is a very deep lineup, and unfortunately there's only 9 spots in there, so it's a long season, so it's good to have the depth that these Commodores do have on the bench.
You're always trying to win a spot, right? No matter what the situation is in the game, you're always trying to win a spot, right? Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, tie game, you come up to pinch it. Or a spot like this, right, where it's 9-2. Vandy Boy's likely going to hang on and win this game. Barzy, of course, adrenaline's pumping, right? Getting fired up for this at-bat, trying to control himself, and he saw that pitch in and banged it up the middle. Nice piece of hitting, first career at-bat. And out to the backstop, and Barzy's going to move up 90 feet.
Yeah, Tim Corbin always says that the positions on the field, you're renting them. Nobody has a position for the whole season. You just got to consistently perform. And so he always says, make it difficult for me to make out that lineup. Make it hard for me to, not put you in that lineup. So the way that you do that is just, have good ABs and, your resume of success to, say, hey, I got what it takes. And so I think a lot of these young guys getting in there and really showing Tim Corbin, what they're made of against somebody other than, their inner squad.
Taking a look over at the first base umpire, Joseph Smith, who says that Espinal did not go around, so the count is full 3-2. Much like we said in the bottom of the 7th. Again, run rule is in effect. If Vanderbilt scores 3 here, they will win the game. Espinal, tough play, letting it roll foul as Hankins. Count remains at 3-2. But you just think about the nerves, right? Everyone remembers their first at bat or the first time they played at the collegiate level, and Barzy coming up there, his Mouth is dry there, right? Nervous, trying to control the energy, if you will. And, you know, he's facing a tough pitcher. There's a tough arm on the mound, and showcasing to Tim Corbin and everybody else here that you know, he belongs. He belongs in a lineup, whether it's a pinch hit role, chance to get a start potentially. And I think a lot of fans would be curious to see how he looks behind the plate, right? Obviously, Espinal, cat-like reflexes. He's been unbelievable, throwing guys out left and right. It's been good at the plate. Bolger, of course, started behind the plate on Wednesday. Is a wicked slider there. Gets Espinal on 3-2 for the first out of the inning. But especially catcher depth, right? The bodies get banged up. Cannot have enough catcher depth in the season. So here's Davis. He homered back in the second inning. 407 feet to dead center. 105 off the bat. His first homer as a Commodore.
I think for Davis, I think the power numbers, you'll really start to see those jump as you get into SEC play, as the velocity gets a little bit higher from the opposing pitching, just because his swing is not, you know, just maxing out. He's really just putting the ball in play, and as you see right there, just slapping it all over the park.
Scorches one down the line and right. That's going to bring home Barcy. It is 10-2, another extra base hit for Davis. You talked about the power, not trying to do too much. That's just a great piece of hitting.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, this is an elevated fastball, a little bit on the outside corner, but just takes it, slaps it the other way, says this is where this pitch, this is where I'm going to take it, and an easy double there for Davis.
Gonna get another pinch hitter here. This is Braden Holcomb, the freshman. So this is Holcomb's second at-bat of the season. We saw him once in the Sunday game get a pinch hit opportunity. It's 0 for 1 on the year. Holcomb takes a slider for a strike.
He's a guy with a lot of power. If you just look at him, you're like, yeah, I can see that. He's a big guy. He competed in the MLB High School Home Run Derby in 2022.
6'4", 257. He could play linebacker here. So he hits one out to center. This is pretty deep off the bat of Holcomb. It's way back. It is gone. The first career hit, the first career home run for Braden Holcomb. And by the way, it looks like, I thought the run rule was in effect. Might not be. So 12-2, Holcomb homers his first hit as a Vandy boy.
I think that the people that were the most excited about that